Building right now after a tough loss. I know you guys have the 24-hour rule, but just how are things?
Yeah, it's just 24 hours, and then you got to push forward. You know what I mean? One big thing in just life and football is like you can't let a loss beat you twice. So everybody, like, you're never happy with the outcome being a loss. I mean, that's obvious, but you just can't let that beat you twice. You can't kind of like dwell on that and have that kind of bleed into this next week. So you kind of just got to keep pushing forward.
Jay was one of the guys that came back with you. Just curious, since he made that decision, what have you seen out of him?
I mean, just intentionality. You know what I mean? I think like everything's been intentional. Just the way he operates, practices, watches film. Just one of those guys that just believes in this program, and you know, he's just the epitome of Hawkeye football. I think, you know, coming into this culture last year, you kind of like learn a lot about like what the standard is here, and I think he epitomizes the standard.
I think you played college football in a whole bunch of different places. Is it weird to think about a team in the Pacific Northwest coming all the way out here to play a conference game?
Yeah, it's kind of weird because you kind of think about like, I mean, not to push it forward in the season, but you think about like the Big Ten and how I think we go to UCLA, we go to Maryland, but you don't think about the perspective of somebody coming here. So I think that was kind of interesting for me to think about how they're coming here. All the way from from Washington. So I think that's it's interesting, but it's just the landscape of college football now. So I mean, you have to what is it? The Pac-12 is no longer.
Well, I guess
they're rebuilding now.
Yeah, so they're rebuilding that, but it's not. It's just the Power 4 this year, though, right? It's just yeah. So I think that this is just the landscape of college football right now. But I mean, we just know how talented of a team they are, and you know, just the more you have in the conference, you know, just the deeper it gets, and just great competition.
That game starts at 9 a.m. Pacific those times. They're going to be
9 a.m. Pacific time.
They're going to be playing the game.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, I'd like to you never know what their practice schedule is like. You know what I mean? So if they're a morning outfit, it's probably works well for them. You know what I mean? So I mean, regardless of what time it is, it's just those guys are going to be ready to play. And those guys were in the national championship last year, so they're an unbelievable team. They got some dudes on tape that pop out, so just have to be ready for that. And they're going to come out humming, and they're coming off a huge win, so I know that they're going to come out swinging.
What are some of those, or who are some of those dudes that you see on tape that stand out?
Yeah, I mean, I think it starts out with the running back. The running back, he's violent. You know what I mean? He runs violent, lowers his shoulder, makes plays, and I think a couple weeks ago when they were playing Rutgers, I mean, he really stood out to me when I was just watching, just as like a fan. I think it was a Friday afternoon, and I was just like watching football. So, and I was just like, he's sticking out to me, and now I'm up against him this week, so it's kind of one of those things where I'm like, he's a dude. The quarterback, he's a ball player. The tight end, huge. You know what I mean? And they obviously, the receivers, Washington is always going to have great receivers. So, O-line, they're stout. So, I mean, it's just one of those teams, like, they present a lot of challenges from a lot of different areas. But I definitely say that, like, that running back and that quarterback, they bring in two of them. They both present a lot of challenges.
I mean, pretty much all those guys haven't played at Kinnick Stadium before. What could they expect on Saturday?
I mean, Kinnick, man. I mean, this fan base. I mean, everything. It's special. You know what I mean? It's a special place to play, and it's a special place to experience. I mean, they can expect it's going to be loud. You know what I mean? That's one thing about it. Third down, I can barely hear myself thinking. You know what I mean? So it's kind of one of those things where. I mean, that's one thing, but I know they're going to come out. They're going to be ready for it. They play in crazy tough environments. They played in a national championship environment, college football playoff environment, all these different environments. So I mean, that's not going to be the thing that changes and dictates the game for them. But Kinnick's a special place, so I mean, it'll be a great place to experience.
Something else has changed in the landscape of things. You have guys leaving mid-season, leaving programs mid-season. Had a couple of this week. How do you just kind of keep focused, move on?
Yeah, I mean, we wish our guys nothing but the best. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where you just keep pushing forward. You know what I mean? The guys that you got are the guys that you got, and you keep pushing forward and you keep moving this thing forward. We know that we have jet goals, we have objectives to hit this season, and those guys, I mean, we wish them all the best. Really, I mean, those are two guys that me and my locker group and all that stuff. So nothing but respect for those guys, and I wish them honestly nothing but the best. And I know that they're gonna make another program great, and I know we're thankful for all the contributions that they brought to this team. None of those guys were problems in the locker room or anything. It's just sometimes that's just, I guess, the way college football is going right now. You know, man. Whether people agree with it or not, I guess that's just the mode moving forward. You know.
You were talking about how the Washington running back runs violently. How do you kind of combat that as like a linebacker?
Yeah, you got to tackle violently, man. You know what I mean? What's it? Force equals mass times acceleration. So I guess if he's got more mass than me, I got to bring a lot more acceleration. So definitely. Just one of those things where, you know, you got to gang tackle, you got to bring your guys with you. There's a lot of people getting in at once, so I think that's a huge thing for us. You know, just everybody getting to the ball, swarming to the football, and he's going to make people miss. He's going to make plays. It's Big Ten football. You know, these dudes are talented too. So you know, just got to come together.
What is just your take on the defense through 5 games? It seems like there's been some really good moments, also some moments that you probably would like to improve on. Just how would you evaluate what you guys have done so far?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think we put good stuff on tape, and we've definitely had moments where it's just like we need to just communicate better, just all be on the same page better. And I definitely think that we just got to keep on going, though. You know what I mean? It's just put it to bed, get to the next snap, put it to bed, get to the next snap, and just as the more reps we get, I think the better and better we're going to get just as we keep going with the season. But it's just all comes down to the work and the fundamentals and believing in each other.
What's Phil's message been?
Just keep living, keep pushing, and I think just like everyone come together and just communication, effort, and then we'll take care of the rest.
Thanks, Nick.